Hello everyone. Today, the 15th of March, it's my birthday, and I thought that I would say a few things that I have learned over the last couple of years, or as the case may be, how I have lived my life. Okay, first and foremost, I would like to say that my life has been a journey, and I often say it jokingly, but I actually mean it. That my life is more like an Abrahamic journey. I liken my life to an Abrahamic journey. Okay, so, but there's so much I've learned, over this last couple of years. And in the next couple of weeks, I will be sharing some of these lessons that I have learned, and I will just tag them live lessons by Pastor E. And each week I'll be bringing you, one live lesson, and you could talk to me about it, or maybe contribute if you want to. I would also love to learn, from you as well, to see your perspective. But this is just my own perspective. Okay, today being the first day, I'll be sharing one of the live lessons with you, starting from the day of my birth. Recently, I had a very a hurricane hit my heart, basically, because I lost a very dear friend, to the cold hands of death. And it shook me. Her death shook me, because I didn't expect it. It's someone that, has a lot of, when you see people with vision and, passion, you know that they're going to go far, and you're really expectant for what their life would unfold eventually. So for me to hear of the death of my sister, it was really, really saddening for me. But I also it helped me, this period helped me to reflect. And then I also started hearing, people who are close to me, or even close to her as well, and the kind of things they said about death is what is making me to talk about this today. All right, I'm celebrating my birthday today. I'm happy to be alive. I'm glad that I'm alive. My life has not been so easy, or like that. It's been challenges upon challenges, but there's been a lot of victories. But still, I'm grateful to be alive. And I want to say this to you: if you have a loved one who has passed on, or if you're currently grieving, I want you to take note of your grieving, process, especially the things that you say at the time of your grief. It's very important. Take note of your grieving process and the things that you say at the time, when you are grieving. I found out that people have more to do with their passing away. The people that pass away have more to do with their passing away than much more than the circumstances around them. Even in cases where someone was murdered or shot, or poisoned, all of those things, I have a very strong belief in the fact that they had more to do with their passing than the person who poisoned them. I say this because I found out that the thoughts, the things that we think, and the things that we say chart the course for our lives. And even if someone has been, planning, to kill you or to do something nasty to you, your thoughts, if you are afraid, you open a door for such things to hit you. So I want you to check the kind of things that you say when people pass. When people pass, you hear a lot of people, folks start to say things like, I'm thinking of those things because I don't keep those things in my memory. But they say things like, it could happen to anyone. It could have been me. It could have been you. It could happen to anyone, and none of us know when we're going to die, and things like that. There are a lot of words and a lot of things, and you could remember them that people say. And when they say those things, they're couched in a lot of unbelief, and that already opens a door for the enemy to attack them or to strike them. So I want you to really, really be careful. I remember a time when my younger brother was sick, and I kept on wishing it was me, who was on that sick bed. I kept on wishing it was me. But I thank God that I realized my mistake early enough. You don't have to to put yourself in the position of the sick person. You don't have to put yourself in the position of the dead person for you to actually sympathize, with the person who is sick or with the person who passed. You understand what I'm saying? Because when you do that, you open the door for the enemy to strike you. So maybe when I have more time during the week, I will break this down with scriptures to back it. But I want that to be at the back of your mind. When people are also celebrating, celebrate with them, speak things, positive things. Do not be envious and do not be jealous of people who are celebrating one victory or the other. Help them because, celebrate with them, because by doing so, you also open the door for such a thing to happen to you, for such a miracle to come to you. Somebody said that if you hear that there's a testimony of what God has done, around you, you should celebrate. Why? Because God is in your neighborhood. Okay, so that's the kind of attitude that we have, because these things, they work. They work. For me personally, I feel that I could be wrong, but my sister that passed on, I remember a time ago when our pastor, passed on, and I know that period, it was very tough for many of us. We couldn't get a grip on ourselves, and most of us were wondering, if such a powerful man of God can pass on, how much more us? That means we're just, things like this. You don't compare yourself with people, no matter how great they are. The reason is that you don't know what they've been saying, you don't know what they've been speaking, you don't know their mind, the state of their mind as at the time that this thing happened. Okay, so you have to watch the things that you say. Do not quickly put yourself in the position of someone else. When tragedy strikes, it doesn't make you a better person to wish to be that person, or to wish you were the one who passed on. It doesn't really make you a better person. All right. Also, people that you see on social media, with all manner of pictures and stuff like that, be careful about how much, because this is just a photograph, it's just a picture. It's no reflection of what is going on in their lives as it is, and it's just pictures. It's money for the clothing and makeup and all of those things. But you see, one thing I found out in my years of living on the earth, it's that God has no value for material things. I found that out, that he has absolutely zero value for material things. And material things is only for a moment. It's just, I dress up now just so that you admire me for now, and it expires. Because by tomorrow, if I wear the same clothing tomorrow, you would even ask me, why are you wearing the same thing? You see, so it has very little, what do you call it? It has expiry date, and it lasts only for a short time. But we put a lot of value on those things, and God has no value for those things. The only things that God has value for are those things that have eternal value. And I want you to be like that. I want you to understand that these things, there's nothing that you would not be able to give away. There's nothing that you should keep back or hold. You should be able to give away anything of yours, because you don't have that much value for them. Giving should be easy for you, because you're not holding on to it. You're not holding on to the house or to the car like it's your life. Because at the end of the day, when we will all pass on and we go to heaven, these things will even remain. They will be there. Families that fight over property, they fight and kill each other, and eventually the property outlasts them or outlives them. So there's no value. Eventually, everything on the earth anyway will still perish. Okay, so don't hold that much value to these things. Yes, it's important that you dress nice, and all of that, but let your whole your value not be on these things. Your entire life's value should not be on material things, because God has no value for those things. All right, so thank you so much for listening. Thank you to everyone who has been wishing me a happy birthday. Thank you for your messages, for your calls, for everything, and I just pray that God will help me, so that as I share with you the things that I've learned in my life, that God will help me to be able to share something that would be of value to you, that would actually move you from where you are to your next and higher level of success. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Happy Sunday.